Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, and my partner is James Mason. Our goal today is to bring you insights and ideas for today's market. Good morning, James. How are you?
Good morning, Todd. I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was all right. I went out of town. I was actually in Gatlinburg and had next to nothing in internet. So,
that could be a positive. It also could be a heavy negative.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know when we travel that you're used to using the GPS or looking up restaurants or things like that. Keeps the kids off the phones, but when you really need it, it's tough. So It's interesting.
I took a 2-hour detour yesterday by typing in the wrong address. Started heading to the wrong state. And I was wondering why I was going through a bunch of back roads and whatnot. I was like, this is not normal. Then, by the time I realized it, I was like, oh my God, I'm 2 hours behind now. But yeah.
So let's talk about, we took a little time off from the show, StockCast, and we talked about doing a reboot. That we told our audience we're going to do a reboot. So let's share some thoughts and ideas what our goal is with the reboot of the StockCast.
Okay, yeah. So what we're going to be doing in the future with this reboot is over time, you'll start to notice that the show is evolving with what we are creating and building behind the scenes that will be released in the future. And as these changes take place, without giving away any details right now, since this is such a cutthroat industry, we'll just say that. It's such a cutthroat industry. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And we have some big plans for the trading industry in the future overall. And I mean, I hate to be so vague about it, but like I just said, man, this industry is so full of just a bunch of people who like to ride coattails off of everyone else. And there's no sense of me giving up any information, any edge that we'll have as a company, as an organization, and what you guys will receive in the future when we don't have to give it up yet, when we're not ready to release that information. So that's
I think one of our goals is you and I have talked, and I think we can share this part, is that we want to find some individual moments of value, to engage our audience, to cover some tickers. We felt like we were kind of reviewing the same, or there was multiple reviews of tickers, and we allowed that to happen, but we got stuck in a rut, and we want to change it a little bit and try to add some value, and really give our traders some insights to make them more successful.
Yeah, and I mean, and you really just said it the best way. That it could have been said. Just felt like, for me, if I'm not progressing, then I feel like I'm wasting my time. And that's one thing that, hey, if I'm not progressing, learning something new, or talking about something new all the time, then I just get to the point where I'm just kind of like, what am I exactly doing here? How am I getting better? How am I moving forward? How is this information helping out people? And if we're talking kind of how we let it get with the show, where we're just talking about the same tickers over and over and over, and we have the same just small group of people. And a lot of the members are from our TTBB subscription. And, we do want to avoid talking about those alerts, because that is what, the members pay for, that content.
Absolutely.
And there's roughly, between these larger markets, between the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange and a few of the other large exchanges, there's over 8,000 tickers to talk about. And there's so many diamonds in the rough that we could be searching for to start digging in and doing our DD before any of these catalysts actually pop off. We want to find the value before it's already happening. Because if you're finding stuff that's popping off that morning, and this is just the simple way that traders think, they're chasing it after the fact. Now, while you can still make money, if you really break it down and think about it, you're kind of just flipping a coin. I mean, a lot of times if you look at these like pre-market runners, they end up being faders. And if we're not digging and doing research to get in before the big pre-market push, then we're chasing and being just like everyone else. And we don't want to be like everyone else. That's not the goal for what StockCast is. We want to be the people who are selling our shares to everyone else. So that's the goal here. We're here to make money. We're here to be in these trades before these catalysts pop off. And we're here to sell our shares to the people who are wanting to chase it the day of. And that's how we can provide value if we focus on that as a whole going into the future.
And we will. That's something that in my time with you over the last couple of years is that's something that your ability to have a crystal ball or use the crystal ball to see some things, to get some ideas where we're headed has been successful. I personally have learned a lot from that. So with that, let's talk about the market. The market right now is the future up literally virtually break even, down $1, up $1, bouncing around right there. SPY is up 60 cents. So what are your thoughts on today's market, James?
Ooh, man, already we're starting the week off looking like we're going to come out choppy, and that's what I hate. But overall, I do feel like we're going to continue this bullish push in the market with the release of that $1 trillion plus infrastructure package that the Biden administration just approved of. And like the saying goes, stocks only go up.
Wish it was true.
Yeah, I know.
So there is one ticker that's we've been getting asked a lot about, and it was alerted a while back. I don't remember the exact alert date, and it was ticker ITRM.
All right, let me share my screen. All right, here we are, ticker ITRM. So Todd, this is one that you were focusing on a while back, and could you just kind of give us a rundown?
Yeah, so there was a bio stock that I dug up some information on, and basically they're waiting for an FDA approval on July 25th, and I can't remember what my average price was, but with that FDA approval, they're expecting, hoping, fingers crossed, that it's going to have a pretty good pop. It's had a nice little run up of recent, and so it's ramping up pretty decent. Personally, I got out of it. I had to make a change with my broker. They changed my clearinghouse, and around June 1, I made a switch over, and I did not get back in, but I may be looking to get back in with this ramp up. I probably, if I do get back in, it's most likely I will not be holding through the FDA approval date. I will. I've been burned by that enough times that it's better to take a hand. What's the saying? A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. So, I'll take my percentage of gains into that ramp up as it happens.
Yeah, guys, and it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about at the opening of the show, where we want to be the people who are selling our shares to everyone chasing a pre-market. That's the whole point here, and what that, to kind of break that down a little bit more, what that means. Todd's talking about selling before waiting on that news. Once that news is released, that's what causes that large spike. Everybody's chasing it. Algos are picking up on it, and if we're finding those tickers that are already primed with the catalyst, and then we're making entries before it, then we're good. We're golden, because when they pop off, everybody who again is chasing it pre-market, we're selling into that news. We're not waiting for these moonshot landings with these tickers. We're here to make money, and that's the goal. That's what we are going to do. So
Yeah, so when you talk about scanners, and
Mhm.
not only are we'll call them long traders, they're trying to make money on the way up. There's also scanners that are looking for spikes, and they're doing just the opposite. They're purposely trying to set up for um, a short opportunity, because there are traders, there are professional traders out in the market that charge lots of money to watch them trade. Literally will scalp for 5 cents, and they'll be trading, I mean, 10, 20, 30,000 shares for 5 cents, and they're in and out. And people try to follow them, and they can't follow them because it happens so quick.
Yeah,
This is,
or the bigger guys who are trading like 300,000 shares for 5 cents. And
yes.
I mean, when you're trying to chase someone like that, and then they're jumping in, they're saying, "All right, I'm making an entry here," and then you're trying to jump in behind them. They done made a profit, and then the next thing you know, they're like, "Oh, I'm done."
Yeah, and we don't get the notice that, hey, I'm going to enter this at 25, and I'm trying to look at between 30 and 31. We're clicking when you're following at 26, 27, and then we're clicking at 25, 24 because the market, it takes a quick dip when they're exiting. So a lot of new retail traders get burned by that strategy. So um, to James' point, we want to be in it when it makes its run up. So we are profiting 20 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents, 80 cents, $1.20 on the run up. And we can take our profits without being under pressure.
Exactly. So to kind of give just a quick technical analysis on ITRM, we have spoken about this one in the past, and we can see that it's now above that entry point of $1.89, and it looks like this was a stop at 172 with the target price of around 365. So just looking at my charts, that's what I see going on right here for ticker ITRM. So there's one in the comment, Todd. Um, well, there's one in the comments that I actually want to speak about, and it is ticker. Let's see. It looks like they changed their name. Um, so the whole hype behind ticker.
Torchlight?
Yes, that is it. What is it? TC PR.
M- yeah, they went to Mary Apple Tango. MMAT.
Okay. All right. So let's just talk about this one very quickly. I've received a ton of questions about this, and in short, off the top, I don't know what's going on with this. Now, this is something that people have, spoken to me and have told me, what they understand is going on right here, and really this whole strategy that the CEO is doing, it just doesn't make sense to me. With this whole special dividend and wanting to personally try to squeeze out the shorts and all of that, cool trendy stuff that is now the new thing in the stock market with short squeezes. I don't know about anybody else and their thoughts on this. You guys can let me know in the comments. But this entire thing, and it's like I was talking to some people before it had this like significant cap up right here. When they were asking about it, I told them, I was like, with everything that the CEO is trying to do to create the short squeeze, offering this special dividend, something just seems completely off with it. And in short, I won't be surprised if that CEO doesn't get contacted by the SEC. I mean, that's just the simplest way to put it.
Would that fall under the category stock manipulation?
Absolutely. So yeah, I never even came close to touching Torchlight. The whole thing just didn't make sense. And when things don't add up like that and make sense, I don't even fool around with it. So that's just my opinion on Torchlight with their new ticker being MMAT now. All right, Todd.
Look at the comments. There's not many. There's someone else asked about ticker ARDX, Robert Antonio. And Robert, I'll tell you, that one popped up on my radar this morning. It's one I've watched in the past, and I don't have a position, but I will be digging into it. They do have a PDUFA date coming up, so I will be doing a little research on that. So that could be of some value, but that may be a conversation later in this week. Do it. James, it's June 28th. We're near the end of the month. Any advice for our traders as they wrapping up the month of June as we get ready to head into a holiday weekend?
And anytime there are holidays coming up, just keep them on. If you're trading options, those days that the markets are closed, that still counts against those contracts. So have a plan in place right there. Also, too, usually the day before holidays take place, volume is extremely low. Now, what I will say, Todd, is we're about ready to head into June. And what I like about that is summer is about over and all the kids have to go back to school, and seeing their misery makes me happy. So I'm just kidding. Actually, what I'm happy about summer, the last month of summer going to be taking place right here is, man, I'm ready to get some volume kick back up in the market around August, September, that time frame. That's when we actually start having a lot of the small caps starting to pop off again. All that money starts coming back into the market and everything starts to rotate again for us. So that is what I'm looking for with summer completing, and get back to some good volatile news catalyst plays.
Yeah, traditionally we find after the 4th of July vacation time that you'll start to see a small uptick in exactly what you're talking about. So between coming up here shortly to Labor Day weekend, we should have us start to see an uptick, and then we'll head into September where it's time to make some money.
For sure. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up for today. We just wanted to start this reboot by basically kind of giving you a vague explanation on what to start expecting going into the future. And like I said, you will start to see the show evolving as the things that we are doing behind the scenes start lining up. And I am excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. It's going to be something good. And what I'm looking forward to is engaging our audience on a different level than before. So, will be a cool thing to get them involved. So if someone has an idea or they want to share a thought, feel free to reach out to us. We're easily accessible on Twitter, emails out there, social media. I've even had someone who I've been able to talk to on the phone, and if they want to share an idea or two, where something that we've done or we'd like to see us do that would be of value, we are interested in hearing that.
Yeah, except for trying to hit us up on like Facebook Messenger. Like, man, we just, between all the scammers on Facebook, the scammers, spammers, everything, and just the general message volume on Facebook, it's pointless to really try to hit us up in messages there. Yeah, I mean, my inbox looks like trash because there's just so many messages. You can't keep up with it.
If you're going to send me to Facebook, just make sure you send a nude picture. I respond to those ones quicker than
Exactly.
Hey, with that, everyone have a great day and safe trading, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
All right, everyone, take care.